Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking the dreaded D-Rose report. Just got this breaking news. Jersey Shore Snooki, will be hosting tonight's episode of WWE Raw, says she's lost her voice. Snooki tweeted on Monday, "I'm really sick right now. Hopefully my voice will come back for tonight's show." We'll see if she may be on the flaky side. Alright. I don't know if you caught last night's pay-per-view of TNA. Let me know if you did, let me know what you thought about the wonderful main event. I'll get into that here in a second. Alright, WWE is proud to announce, it says, the newest member of WWE's Hall of Fame, comedian, game show host, Drew Carey. Anyway, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by THQ WWE Hall of Fame is going to be taking place at Phillips Arena Saturday, April 2nd, and the 1-hour TV special will air Monday, April 4th on the USA Network, probably right after Raw, I'm sure. Drew Carey, the latest member of the celebrity wing of WWE, joining the likes of Pete Rose, Bob Uecker, William Refrigerator Perry. Other members of the Hall of Fame class includes, of course, this year's the Heartbreak Kid, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Bullet Bob Armstrong, and the original diva Sunny. Just throw this out a little bit. Carey established his place in WWE history as a surprise entrance into 2001 Royal Rumble. However, Carey's fortunes quickly turned when the massive WWE star Kane entered the ring and promptly Carey eliminated himself from the match. So anyway, right now he's a former U.S. Marines reservist on Price is Right, hosting the Drew Carey show he had, and Whose Line Is It Anyway? And they are belittling their own Hall of Fame. I don't know what to say about the Drew Carey thing, but maybe they know what they're doing. I doubt it. Alright, I wouldn't get too excited being about it, being in the Hall of Fame, the other wrestlers with the likes of Drew Carey, and I told you it's going to be some, I don't know next year what they're going to end up doing. Anyway, let's get on to TNA. TNA will tape tonight's Impact episodes tonight and tomorrow night and Wednesday night in Orlando. And anyway, the proposed Jarrett's versus Kurt Angle has been announced for this week's Impact, as well as Hernandez, Sarita, Rosita taking on Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, Matt Morgan in a street fight, which could be interesting. Alright, this was tweeted to Mickie James on her Twitter this morning. Was Jeff Hardy drunk last night at Victory Road or not? She replied, "Oh shit, thanks for reminding me. So I gotta go, I better go to work." Just kind of left that hanging. So anyway, PWI Insider reports that TNA's sources indicated that the main event for TNA's World Heavyweight Championship at last night's Victory Road pay-per-view lasted 1 minute 28 seconds. That's the main event. Because of backstage concerns over Jeff Hardy, the speculation is that Sting wouldn't agree to wrestle a long match with Jeff Hardy if he was in bad condition. More details, as it comes. So anyway, here's the more details. For what it's worth, oh, by the way, Jeff Hardy's going to have a court hearing on his drug charges next Monday, March 21st. And that could be a sentencing date. And like I said, reported earlier, TNA officials made the decision to send Jeff Hardy home from even this week's Impact tapings. Reported last night's show that Hardy was in no condition to perform, and management decided to cut his match with Sting short. And that's also to help Sting. And Sting is not in the best of shape, either, but I'm sure he could do longer than a minute and a half match. Anyway, unlike this time, there was a question about Hardy's, unlike last time, there was a question about, now this is not the first pay-per-view they've had to cut short because of him. Unlike the last time, there was a question about Hardy's condition, or to the prior Final Resolution pay-per-view in December, company officials were going to strip Hardy of the World Championship due to his condition backstage, but then changed their minds. No one in the company has attempted to defend him, though. Many employees are very upset about the situation, especially the decision to allow Hardy to go out in front of the audience, considered he was stumbling on the ramp and nearly tripped over the ring steps. Others were surprised that an audible wasn't called to make it up to the audience. While Jeff Hardy was sent home from this week's Impact taping, no further decisions have been made regarding his future with the organization. And at the, if you caught the pay-per-view, you could probably hear in the background where the fans were chanting bullshit because of the being shorted on the main event. And the fans made that sucker, and he can't put back. Hold off on whatever he's doing to give back to the fans. I don't know. There's something major wrong. TNA's pay-per-view stream, by the way, for the pay-per-view started out in the air last night. It started broadcasting in Spanish before they figured out to switch it over to English. Sarita and Rosita became the new knockout champions, by the way, at Victory Road after defeating Angelina Love in winner. Sting retained the TNA World title at the main event last night in a very quick, unusual match against Jeff Hardy. Bischoff came out before the match and made it a no DQ before Sting laid him out. There wasn't much physical contact at all as Sting hit him with the drop out of nowhere, pinned Hardy for the odd win. No word yet on the quick finish happened, but we know Sting was in bad shape. They always say bad shape. He was fucked up. Man. Anyway, it would have made sense for Sting to drop the title if he was injured, but he retained it. So it wasn't anything to do with Sting, and Sting it's a wonder Sting didn't even hang around with crap like that going on in TNA. But anyway, the show ended along with a long recap of videos earlier in the match to an empty ring shot. Taz and Mike Tenay played it up like Sting had just reinvented himself with the win over Hardy. So they tried to do the best they could do. Man who was at ringside, by the way, if you've seen that, was who ran into the ring with Matt Morgan versus Hernandez at TNA, is reportedly OVW wrestler champion Lowrider Matt Morella. He may be brought up to work with the New Mexican organization, as it appears they're with Hernandez and Sarita and Rosita. All right, celebrating birthdays today: Santino Morella, 32. Brian Clark, WCW star and WWE, 47. Former ECW valet, and Tommy Dreamer's wife, Beulah McGillicuddy, 42. All right, top name. This might be something nice to go to. Top named advertised stars for the KNS WrestleFest, April 9th in Philadelphia at the Airport Ramada are going to be Ricky Steamboat, Lex Luger, Bobby Heenan, Conan, Molly Holly, Road Warrior Animal, Paul Ellery, Sandman, Vance Archer, Doug Williams. And by the way, this is kind of strange. WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler is appearing in a new slasher movie called Girls Gone Dead. Anyway, he's playing a sheriff, I guess. Lawler is scheduled to finish the film shoot later this month in Florida alongside porn star Ron Jeremy. I don't know if you guys know Ron Jeremy, but anyway. Also stars from Playmates, several Playboy Playmates, and stars from the Howard Stern Show. So it must be just really a high-budget film. All right. Jim Ross, by the way, performed as ring announcer for Randy Orton versus The Miz at last night's Raw Live event in hometown hometown of Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City. Miz ended up getting the win after Alex Riley hit Orton with a briefcase. Riley later competed in a match against John Morrison and said before the match that if he won, he would win a Raw roster spot. And he didn't win. The Miz. Riley lost again. Sheamus declared over the weekend the OKC live event that his Kane persona is dead and long live the Celtic Warrior. Well, that's okay with me too. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I gotta go.